catalyst for bringing people like that together, that in and of itself becomes part of the mission. Yeah, but I think that's really important because you end up becoming a catalyst for new opportunities, people who don't know that their missions are aligned, and one person has a powerful mission and their vision of transformation, and then another one has obviously theirs, and then they get together or they meet just randomly, and they're just like, oh my God, like I've had this piece, right, to the puzzle, and I'm just like building on this, and I didn't even realize if you insert this here, you've got something even that much more incredible. So exponentially you get this extra kind of power, and it takes on a new life, and you're both growing your audiences and your base, and it becomes something that's so spectacular. So I think your contribution, believe it or not, in that way, which is maybe something that you don't necessarily directly intentionally think of, or maybe you do, becomes really, really awesome. Because we think of putting our message out to the world, of people who aren't necessarily, well, I know my focus very often is people who aren't obviously always already part of the choir, so to speak, or already necessarily conscious, because that's where the big shifts occur, and it's obviously happening in our society more and more slowly, but so when you're thinking of, with your book, and putting that out there, and what you've got in that, putting that out into the world, and it's amazing the people that you connect with. But I just love that about you. I love that you've taken that on, and you've put it out there, and you've brought people together. You've put your heart and your soul into your book. Your lectures, they're so informative, and they're so educating. They're so full of education that I think it really makes a difference. I think it really gets, it gets people to connect to it. And you're using chocolate.
Right, the greatest delivery system ever.
People get that, man. People are like, well, I can take this with chocolate, and this is gonna, this does all this for my adrenals, or for my immunity, or for my androgens, or for
my mood, or just depression, or whatever. Yeah, it's totally amazing, and just listening to you speak really makes me feel really good about this path that I chose, and just how it all started. It's totally unpredictable that I would be here right now doing what I'm doing, and it really affirms to me that there is a higher power at work, and that, at least for my life, God or the universe chose the right person for the job to play my part. And how this book came about was just an amazing self-discovery. For the first year, this is a 4-year project.
Wow.
And for the first year, I think I remember not believing that it was going to actually be real. But for some reason, I quit my job working at the hospital, working with HIV patients. Wow. I quit my aspirations of being a professional athlete. I just left all that to the wayside and just got to writing, started getting in front of people, just speaking my message, like not being a very good speaker, being kind of criticized here and there, but somehow I was just like, okay, developing myself, and then it's through that whole journey, it's come to this point where now the book it's a real living, breathing embodiment of what's in my heart, and all the research I've been made available to me, and being able to synthesize that in a way that is not only digestible, but is thought-provoking, and it's like a riddle almost. Right. It's for people that want direct answers, but it's also for people that want multi-dimensional information, meaning it's not just straight facts.
Right.
It's also leading you on a journey, a journey into my life, but more importantly, acting as a catalyst for that person to take the self-exploration into their own self, and to see how they could create new possibilities through nutrition, through raw foods, through walking maybe more of a vegetarian path if they feel compelled to do that. Developing more of a philosophy surrounding food instead of just like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, nutrition and kind of, all those things. Taking it from more of a superficial base and then integrating it into the spirit.
Right.
So now your choices that you make towards your food become less about just achieving a physical result, and they become more about fueling your spiritual agenda on this planet.
Right. It becomes less about a limitation.
Right.
Or like dieting,
for
example, and becomes more about a lifestyle.
Right.
I think that one of the keys I'm so for you expanding your vision and your mission in the world is because of your accessibility. It takes one to know one. So like instantly when you and I met, we're just like, dude, you know when you know.
Yeah.
It's like this guy's got it. And you need what I call light warriors in the world, people who are warriors for light and transformation and bringing goodness to the bigger, wider community. We need people like you that are so accessible, because if you're very open, your style and your way, it doesn't feel dictatorial, or it doesn't feel like, hey, I'm the truth, I'm the light, I know what the thing. It feels very open. It feels like you're somebody who's accessible. People could approach you and connect with you, and I think that's one of the most powerful keys to transformation. Because if people can't relate to you and they feel like this guy's so far over here, or he's so firm and rigid in what his belief systems are, or if I come to him and tell him, hey, I eat at McDonald's every day, is he gonna freak the heck out?
Yeah, is he gonna go vegan on me?
Yeah. Right? Is he gonna become literally a warrior for
Right.
And I think that's really a big part of. I know everybody sees that in you, because when I wouldn't say I know that everybody sees that in you, because it's just your delivery, it's the way you approach things, and it makes it easy, it makes it accessible, and people need that. And that's the thing one of the things that's pretty good about David Wolf. Similarly, and I feel like I compliment you. I hope you feel when I say that I can see you trailblazing to that kind of level and that kind of rock star fame, so to speak, because he is very approachable. Right. He's very approachable.
Very.
He eschews money. He eschews as brilliant as the man is, and with all the knowledge that he's got, you still feel like you could come up to him and say, man, I've been eating McDonald's every day.
Oh yeah, and he would not judge you. He would probably smile and might give you a hug and tell you a couple things you could do to start getting on the path. And I think that human side, that human quality, speaks to an openness and inner kind of self-confidence about it's the confidence and the openness that create that open spirit that's really, really needed. Even if you don't know something, that's fine. People just like, he knows a lot more than I do, and I feel like I could learn a lot from him, and so I think having a book out there, as you've created, it's like jumping out of a helicopter, or they say skydiving. There are a lot of people who just do. I've spoke about that. There's a lot of people who never, either just never do it, or start it and never complete it. Because it's a lot of work. It requires a lot of discipline, and it shows your heart's there. Yeah. It's a lot of work. It's like you said, a 4-year journey. And so when you do something like that and you put a book like that out in the world, it's beautiful because
I mean, while you're asleep, somebody on the other side of the world is being enlightened.
Yeah.
By your message.
Yeah.
It's the most beautiful thing ever, you know? And you don't even realize you just transformed this little kid's life, or this old person's life, or this person who's about to go into surgery for cancer.
Right.
Or for heart illness. They said, wait a minute, if I just try this, you know, they won't necessarily have to cut me open, you know.
Just to give them that hope.
Just to give them that hope, man.
And that's such a brilliant point you make, is that, you know, as going through this process of writing this book, and then I think after that first year of just doubt and personal skepticism, because I was thinking, well, who am I, you know? I'm a fitness and athlete guy, you know, a martial artist. Like, that's what I should be doing. But then for some reason, this nutrition message and this raw food message made such a deep imprint on me that I felt I just need to share this message. And I always wanted to write a book.
Yeah.
I was always inspired by literary artists and people that have just gifted the jewels of literature.
Yeah.
To the world, and I knew that I wanted to be one of those people to do that, but for some reason when I was younger I couldn't sit still and write. Right?
ADD.
But somehow all that energy and all that commitment to my athletic endeavors literally like transferred into this, and now I am able to sit down, I am able to concentrate and research and really polish up this new, you know, these skills and writing skills, and to deliver a message to people that they can really grab onto. And if they read the whole book and only get one little nugget out of it, it would have been worth it for them, because that one little nugget changed my life.
Yeah.
And look what happened because of